Howdy, and it's Claudio back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't checked out my last video, make sure you go and do that. And I officially have a schedule, at least a timing schedule, not like certain days, but a timing schedule. You know what I'm saying? Expect my videos to come out between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Pacific time. Today, we got a video from the Cosmic Wonder. Breaking Avengers Doomsday official update. Loki versus Doom, an interesting plot.
Official production on
Interesting
Avengers
cast
Doomsday
listing.
is about to begin. We have the start date and the wrap date revealed to us. And if you've been around in the fandom for a while,
I'm actually
you
glad for
know
this, bro,
what's
because I
about
really
to
want to
go
know what's
down.
going to happen.
And if you're relatively new to the fandom, this is a big moment because this means a lot is about to be revealed. We're talking plot leaks, we're talking set photos,
That's why I didn't do the other plot leak
via those
thing that
set
he
photos
did,
and
'cause I was like, I
videos,
know it's
we
gonna
could
be
also
another one,
get
bro.
character reveals or actors who are coming aboard to play specific roles. We already know that
I wonder
Chris
who gonna play
Evans is
Batman.
returning, and according to the reports, he's going to play multiple variants. We know that Scarlett Johansson is returning, and of course, obviously, we know that Robert Downey Jr. is returning to play Dr. Doom. It's a very exciting time right now, and we're about to go fully into the start of Avengers
I still
Doomsday.
think bro will come and
Now,
play Iron Man.
Production Weekly has updated and now has a listing for Avengers Doomsday, giving us the start time, the finish time, and an interesting cast list. One that is kind of confusing to some fans, but don't
That's gonna
worry,
be the
I'll
little
break
art,
it down in this video. And there is
I was
an
gonna call
actor's
that shit
name
a
on there who
thumbnail.
was recently rumored to possibly be joining the MCU. This could possibly confirm it. So let's go ahead and take a look. It says Avengers Doomsday feature film, Marvel Studios for All Time Productions UK Limited. Now, we've heard about this before. We heard that the production company name for Avengers Doomsday was for All Time Productions. And this name does imply a lot for what to expect from Avengers Doomsday.
Wait, what do you say?
And this name does imply all Avengers did. Now, we've heard about this before. We heard that the production
Okay, we got Pedro. Yep. We got Robert Downey Jr., Vanessa Kirby, which I think is playing the Invisible Woman. I forgot her name. Joseph Quinn, my guy from Stranger Things. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be playing the Torch. Eben Moss. I'm thinking that's the thing. The actor's name for the thing. Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Elizabeth Olsen. We know who that is. You know what I'm saying? Wanda. Sebastian Stan. I think that's Bucky. Chris Evans, Anthony Mackie. We know a couple of these. I think Sebastian Stan is Bucky.
Production company name for Avengers Doomsday
this
was
is what we
for
have
All
so
Time
far,
Productions.
You know what I'm saying?
And this
and they're gonna be
name
filming
does
in the
imply
UK.
a lot for what to expect from Avengers Doomsday, specifically in regards to Loki. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's go over the full listing here. Now, the next thing it says, besides the addresses, is status. And it says late March 2025. So we have about 3 months
I just saw
until
location
production begins for Avengers Doomsday. That is when things are really going to start to pick up as far as us getting new information about Avengers Doomsday is concerned, coming directly from the studio. And coming directly from the studio could be via leaks, photos, videos, etc.
Hey, y'all gotta remember a lot of. I feel like the reason why they're not trying to say too much about Avengers Doomsday is because this movie is gonna set up a lot of the other movies coming after. Because you remember he said Spider-Man 4 not gonna come until after Avengers Doomsday. You know, which I still think is weird because it's like. So is that movie gonna be about him getting the symbiote before he met Dr. Doom? Because in Avengers Doomsday, doesn't he become the Venom, like the Venom Spider-Man, the Black Spider-Man? You know what I'm saying? To help out Tony Stark, the evil variant of him. So why would they put the movie out after? You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, maybe they got something for that. Maybe it's a lot of things that's gonna happen in Avengers Doomsday. And I'm being honest, I'm starting to think Avengers Doomsday, I'm starting to think, because I think they may have said it already, Spider-Man might have the biggest role in Avengers Doomsday, especially if he's supposed to be getting the symbiote. They have to show us how he got it. You know what I'm saying? They have to give us a tad bit of a story with him with it. Because it'll be weird for him to keep it after he goes back to the Avengers and realize the Venom is making him. You know what I'm saying? It'll be dumb. Unless they decide they want to do the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man after Avengers Doomsday, then it'll make sense. You know what I mean? I don't know how they gonna do it,
better.
bro. They
Then
got.
after they do
I don't
filming
know
and
how
they
they gonna do
start
that,
to
bro.
do the editing, they'll show screenings. We'll get more
This shit ain't
information
gonna
about
come
the
out to
movie. Then, of
2026,
course,
bro.
it's really
100%.
hard
Or
for studios
December
to keep
of this
everything
year.
completely under wraps. Marvel has been trying to be a little bit more secretive, though. The best example for this is the fact that they are covering up that mysterious cameo on the Fantastic Four set every time that person
I
goes
heard the
from one
Council of
place to
Reeds is gonna
another. Like,
happen.
we have a ton of
That's gonna be
photos
pretty
of
dope.
Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards in costume, just walking around on sets. The same thing goes for The Thing. We have pictures of what The Thing is going to look like, and we've even seen
I
Vanessa
like the way
Kirby
the
as
Thing
Sue
look
Storm
in
as
this
well.
one.
We've basically seen the full
Bro can
cast, but
actually
we
wear
haven't seen
clothes.
this
You know what I'm
mysterious
saying? Like
cameo. They are
he do look like a real rock star.
intentionally trying to keep that person a secret. So they'll try to do the same for Avengers Doomsday, but just like with the Fantastic Four, things still get out. Now, at the bottom of this, it says from March 2025 to August 2025. Now that, of course, is most likely when filming is going to wrap, which means from then they will have 9 months
Late,
to
I think
complete
December.
all of the editing and post-production.
Yep,
And with
it's gonna be
most
December.
Marvel films, they probably will do reshoots. But check out the cast that they have listed.
Yeah, I think they honestly gonna drop. If they saying that's gonna be the time where they gonna finish, bro, I think late December, like the day after Christmas or before Christmas. It's kind of like when Craven dropped, December 30th, like around that time maybe. I think is when Avengers Doomsday is gonna drop, and then they're gonna be pushing us into 2026. And 2026, I guarantee you, some of those films is probably already gonna be done being made. They just gonna be waiting to drop because I know DC they making movies. I'm just I know him and everything always do a lot of Marvel. They do DC sometimes too, but it just seems like Marvel got more things going on right now. Like, and it seems like DC kind of know what they want to do, so it ain't too much we got to really worry about DC because they kind of know like this is what we doing. We stick it to it, and then they don't change. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, bro, I wish it was a little bit more DC news because I know the DC universe is at some point in some time gonna clash with Marvel. You know, so I just want to see how all that's gonna come together.
Of course, we have Kevin
I know
Feige
the
as the
variants is gonna
producer,
play a big
Louis
role in that, though.
D'Esposito, and
At
we
least
have
that's what I'm
Stephen McFeely, along with the Russo brothers coming back to direct. The Russo brothers, Stephen McFeely, and Christopher Marcus all did
Russo brothers.
Avengers
What they?
Infinity War and Avengers
Oh,
Endgame,
okay,
plus
yeah. I knew they
Captain
did
America
like
films.
a
These
trilogy
are
of movies.
Marvel veterans, so Doomsday and Secret Wars are in good hands. But the cast
Yeah, okay.
lists Robert
We ain't
Downey
got
Jr.,
shit.
of course, Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Ebon Moss, Tom Holland, of course. Then it lists Elizabeth Olsen. Now, rumors and reports of the Scarlet
Wanda.
Witch's return have run rampant over the past few months, actually, really over the past couple of years. But with Agatha All Along coming out, which brought back both of Wanda's children, reincarnated
I gotta
Billy and
watch that,
Tommy,
bro.
we've been hearing more
I keep
about the
telling myself
Scarlet
watch, but
Witch's
I'm watching
return
One Piece
more
right
than
now.
ever.
You know
In
what
an
I'm saying?
interesting twist, we heard that she might actually be on the side of Doom. But remember, at first at least, it seems like Doom is going to be trying to save the multiverse, so that doesn't necessarily mean
Hey, I think, okay, based off what I know so far, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't watched Agatha all along, bro. I've been wanting to, but I didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? Every time I decide I want to watch it, I end up watching One Piece, bro. One Piece is getting good. I'm at a good spot. You know? Point is, bro, I think Wanda's going to join Doom thinking that if she joins him, it's going to help save her kids. What if Doom comes to her like, I can help you find your other kid or something like that? Or, you know, because from what I believe, they looking for the other kid because they got Wiccan already, you know, and supposedly I'm guessing they making the other show about Wiccan looking for the other his brother, you know. So what if the Avengers Doomsday have something to do with that, like have something to do with her other son being gone, you know, or being misplaced or whatever you want to call it, and Wanda gets with him because of this fact, you know.
that the Scarlet Witch is evil. In fact, I'm really hoping that when she returns, she has a redemption
It
arc
makes
and she
sense.
becomes good once again. It then lists Sebastian Stan, Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, David Arbor, Hannah John Kamen, Olga Kurylenko,
I ain't
which is
gonna lie, bro. I
interesting
think
because she
Florence
plays
might be my
Taskmaster, and a
celebrity
lot
crush,
of people
bro.
are thinking that
Ain't gonna cap, bro.
Taskmaster is
She
going to die at some point
pretty,
in the
bro.
Thunderbolts. This could mean that she, in fact, does
She
not
kinda
die,
goofy, too.
but it also lists Chris
Who is
Evans,
this girl
Anthony
supposed to be?
Mackie, Benedict Cumberbatch,
I know she was in
Haley
Black Widow.
Atwell,
She's
who
supposed, you
is
know, but it
reportedly
seemed
going
like
to
she
be
had a very
returning
important
as
role.
Agent Carter / Captain Carter. We're not really sure which version is going to
She
be
about
appearing,
to
but
die,
here's something interesting. One of the last things that they mention in parentheses at the bottom says Ana de Armas mentioned for a role, which has been reported very recently that she has had talks
What is
with
she
Marvel
gonna
Studios
play?
about an upcoming role that she could be possibly playing. It looks like
I'm thinking she
Avengers
gonna play
Doomsday is the movie
like she
that
gonna play
could be
another
playing
Black
that
Widow
character
or
in.
something.
Now, as far as which character she could play, we don't really have any real way of knowing at this point in time. There's been no rumors or reports about any character yet, but some fans think that she could be playing possibly a Black Widow variant, or she could possibly be playing an X-Men. This is kind of in line with what Marvel Studios has been doing recently. They have been getting a lot of really famous actors to play roles in the MCU.
Yeah, bro, they spending bread, bro.
Not so big. But if we hear,
what if she play like another variant of Pepper Potts or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, because I know, because bro, they gave Pepper powers in Iron Man 3, and then she just became low key irrelevant. I feel like she should have got a little bit more playtime. You know what I'm saying? And what if she could play like a variant of Pepper Potts or something like that? Because I'm trying to think, what character could she play in Marvel as of right now? Maybe she could play one of the female Green Lanterns, bro. It was one I saw in the animation show. It was a blue one. Maybe she could play like the blue variant of a Green Lantern or something. They make the Green Lanterns or something like that. Or that would be DC, you know? Maybe she could be the new Madam Web. That's what they should do, bro. She could be the new Madam Web, and they can push the story along with her, especially because she got a lot of I'm pretty sure she prepared for the John Wick, series for her, the ballerina thing. So she got a lot of combat experience. They should remake Madam Web and make her the new Madam Web. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
Updates about who she could be playing. We'll of course be sure to do an update video. Now, going back to the Madam Web, cast, one thing that some people are a little bit confused about are the actors who are not listed. For example, Chris Hemsworth is not listed on here, but we know that Thor is going to be returning for Avengers Doomsday. Mark Ruffalo is also not listed on here, but we know he's going to be returning as well. Basically, the fact that some actors aren't listed on here doesn't mean that they're not showing up in Avengers Doomsday. It looks like Production Weekly just basically listed all of the actors for the upcoming movies. Captain America Brave New World, The Thunderbolts, Spider-Man 4.
I think Thor and them gonna be in it.
Sometimes with the cast, they put members that they've heard reports are going to be in the film.
I think they listed the characters that's going to play the biggest roles in the movie, or that's going to play the roles that we need, like, because it's going to be a lot of actors, obviously. So it could be they just don't want to write all them damn names, and they like, bro, if they really Marvel fans, these motherfuckers should know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking maybe, the characters they listed have the most important roles in the movies. And when we watch the movies, those are the characters that we should be paying attention to the most. No matter what little thing they could be doing, it might lead to the next few stories and movies or TV shows after Avengers Doomsday before Secret Wars. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what they were doing. It could just be they just didn't want to list everybody, and they just list the people that people been currently talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because those characters are the ones that a lot of people have been talking about. Spider-Man, Elizabeth Owen, Spider-Man, Wanda. You know what I'm saying? All the characters we saw has been the ones kind of circulating the most right now, because they the ones that's gonna be in the next movies that's been talked about. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think they play the biggest roles in the next movie. That's what I think it's for.
Sometimes those reports aren't officially from Marvel Studios. They could be from insiders like we hear. They do that sometimes. So basically, if you're worried about a certain actor or character not appearing because the actor is not listed on here, nothing to worry about. We've heard that there are going to be over 60 characters in this movie. They're not going to list them all. Like I said, they basically just listed I told you 60, bro. Who are going to be starring in the most recent films. Now, going back to the production listing, with the production company being For All Time Productions UK Limited, this implies that Loki is going to play a decent role in Avengers Doomsday, which, if we think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Because he's from the UK? Now, For All Time comes from Loki. It comes from the TVA, their slogan, their motto, for all time, always. Now, it's easy to hear that and think about slogans. Now, Decent Time Productions UK Limited. This implies that Loki is going to play a decent role.
See, look, that was a hint right there, bro. That's what
if we think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Now, For All Time comes from Loki. It comes from the TVA, their slogan, their motto.
Oh, so he might lead that little tree
now, it's
or whatever.
Easy
He might
to
let
hear
go
that and think about the old TVA, the TVA that we met in Loki season 1. The one that was ruled by He Who Remains. You have to basically get that out of your head for Avengers Doomsday. especially because it really does seem like Marvel
And I
Studios
heard Kang is still
probably
gonna make
isn't going to do
uh
anything, at least not big, to
like it's gonna
address
be a fight
Kang.
with him in
Now,
it.
for all time always, is the new TVA, the one that is basically being ran by B-15, with, of course, Loki holding the multiverse together. And in doing so, Loki actually gave everyone a chance. He allowed branch timelines to happen. So now, for all time always means making sure everybody has free will and basically eliminating the threats that get in the
Doesn't
way
that
of
make him
that. Well, it
omnipresent though?
looks like Doom is probably going to be one of those threats. After all, he is going to be the main villain of not only
Hey, I really, bro. This is probably gonna be the thumbnail. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is a hard, bro. That's hard, bro. Doctor Doom's suit look hard with the Iron Man. That's hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's hard. But I really wonder what's gonna happen. Is Loki gonna let go of the vines? And if he do, what happens to the universe? Like what? Because it is called Avengers Doomsday. You know, and I understand, like, it's because Doctor Doom showing up. But what if he forces Loki to let go of those things? Especially if bro just letting us know, you know what I'm saying? And this, take it with a bucket of salt since it's come from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting it from bro. So, and he getting it from another source. So, take it from me as a bucket of salt and take it from him with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? But I think since, bro saying most likely Loki gonna play a big role, I think Loki might end up being forced to let go of those lines, bro. But would he have to if he's omnipresent? Because I'm thinking if he's holding on to all the universes, bro, and he's connecting them all, he can go to any universe he want while he's sitting there, or at least like his conscience. You know what I'm saying? Like he could put his conscience in somebody else, maybe, or you know what I mean. But he is Loki. He could put another image of, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm wondering how that's gonna work. I really want to see how that's gonna play out, bro. Because I'm thinking he gonna have to let go of all them vines, bro, and it's gonna start up. That's how all the other movies gonna happen, and maybe that's how a lot of characters is gonna end up popping up in other universes, is because he end up, you know what I'm saying? He let him go and end up making stuff go haywire. You know what I mean? Like who knows, bro? But that seemed like a good little plot. You know
Doomsday,
what I
but of
mean?
Secret
If
Wars
Loki
as
gonna
well, and
play
just the
a role
entirety
in
of
it,
the multiverse
so I
saga.
don't think
But
he's
this
gonna just sit there
production
the whole
listing
time if he playing
implies
a
that
role.
Doom is most likely going to come face to face with Loki. And again, if you
Yeah,
think
see,
about it,
look,
it makes
I
perfect
did not
sense,
watch
and it's
this before,
kind of
bro.
inevitable. Because if the Russo brothers are going to take some of the story points from the Secret Wars comics, which we know they probably are going to do quite a bit because they are huge
See,
Secret
this is
Wars
why I don't watch
fans.
the
In fact,
comics,
when
bro.
they did
If I know
Avengers
the comics, I'm
Endgame, they
already
said they
going.
were done, but
Because
when
I want to
people asked
theorize
what
and
could
try to
bring
see
them
if I
back, they
know.
specifically said Secret Wars,
Life
and
is
here we
guessing.
are. So they're probably
It's
going to
fun that
pull
way.
quite a bit from the comics, which means they're probably going to destroy the entire multiverse, which is what we've really been building up to. Doctor
See,
Strange and the
look,
Multiverse of
this
Madness showed us that there are threats to the multiverse and that incursions can happen. And we know that the TVA can essentially delete
is
timelines,
this
but
happening
can they
because Loki is
save
holding all the
timelines from
vines?
incursions? Can they save universes from incursions? Probably not. But the bigger question is, can they stop Doctor Doom? Because what I think might happen in Avengers Doomsday is that Doctor Doom could start off trying to save the multiverse, but then, just like in the comics in the 2015 Secret Wars, he might realize that there's nothing he can do to actually save the entirety of the multiverse. So instead,
And I don't know. I'm not with you on that, Brody. I think you know what I think. I think Spider-Man, once he become evil, he gonna be the first one to break out of that evil, little trip. I don't know how, but I feel like he gonna be the first one to do it. And I feel like there's something going on with this. You know, Tony Stark brings in Peter to the Avengers. They have this little like father son bond type thing going on. And now in Avengers Doomsday, they both turning evil together. I'm thinking Tom Holland is going to save Tony, after he, saves himself somehow. And Tony's going to end up becoming Iron Man. Bro, I really don't think they just going to drop Iron Man like that. And I don't think they're going to give Iron Man to anybody else. Now that we know there's variants, bro, he could still be playing Iron Man, bro. Or he could just simply end up being evil after being snapped. Maybe after the snap happened, maybe he really didn't die. Maybe he ended up being saved by somebody that's evil and they end up changing his little thing and it made him evil. You know what I'm saying? Made him start having evil thoughts or something like that. Like y'all gotta think about it's a lot of technology in these movies too. I'm not talking about the filming. I'm talking about just in the story in general. There's a lot of technology in it. So I'm thinking technology is probably going to turn him evil because technology is what made Iron Man who he is. So who's not to say it's going to turn, it can easily be programmed to make him evil. You know what I mean? Because he has tech in his body. So I'm
He
thinking they
might
can
try to
access him like a
simply
computer or
save
something and make.
one
I don't
thing,
know,
just
bro. But that's
something
what I'm
that could be
thinking,
Battle
bro. You
World.
know what I'm
But how
saying?
they go about that in the MCU, I believe, will
I
be
don't know,
different than the
man.
comics. I believe they're going to make Doom
I'm
more of
excited
a
for it.
real villain when it
2025. You
comes
finna
to the destruction of the multiverse.
some
So
Marvel stuff
perhaps he
finna come
is the
out.
one going
Could
around
get
and kind of
Fantastic Four this
ending
year, I think.
universes. This would put him in direct conflict with Loki and the TVA, especially if Doom realizes that Loki is essentially Yggdrasil and is holding the multiverse together. If he figures this out, he'll probably try to figure out a way to get to Loki. And I have a theory that Doom might actually stumble upon some of Kang's technology. I actually think this would be really cool
And
and
that's what
would
I'm saying.
be
I
a
think he's still
good way
gonna
to
fight
kind
King.
of not really give
Jonathan
us
Majors
full
might still
closure,
make a
but
cameo.
some type of closure for Kang
Maybe.
in the MCU. But it would also enable him to get to Loki. In theory. I mean, right now, technically Loki is residing where He Who Remains once resided. So if Doom gets his hands
I'm
on
thinking
He
about
Who
a title
Remains'
for this, bro.
technology, he could
For this
theoretically get to
video.
Loki. And that is one of the really cool things about Doom. He is sorcery, but he's also technology. Something that I'm really hoping they dive into in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. But I think Avengers Doomsday does end with the destruction of the multiverse, which means Loki will no longer be holding all of the branches together. So the fact that the name of the production company
I
is
told
for
you.
All Time Productions does lead me to
I
believe
think he's
that
gonna end
the
up
end of
having to let him
Avengers
go.
Doomsday will be the end
And
of the
that's how,
multiverse.
and then I think that's how Ghost Rider and all them gonna end up being able to pop up in universes and shit like that, bro. I think him letting go of all the vines is gonna cause all these universes to possibly come together. You know what I mean? Kind of like if y'all saw Stranger Things, y'all saw how the upside down was kind of coming up into the real world. I feel like that's how the multiverse is gonna be. It's gonna be like little, voids in certain places in the world that connects to other. That's what I'm thinking. Especially because they just showed us in Doctor Strange that girl who can go through universes, bro, with her star power, bro. I feel like they don't be showing these things for no reason, especially when they give it only a little bit of time, but it still makes an impact on the story, bro. I think it's gonna
This
play a
would
huge impact, bro.
essentially free up Loki to
But yeah, man, what y'all think, man? That's what I think is gonna happen, bro. I think Loki is gonna have to let go of those vines and fight, and I think that's what's gonna cause the next few movies after with all these characters making cameos and Spider-Man and all that stuff. I think that's what's gonna cause it probably, and I think Secret Wars is gonna be about probably them trying to find out a way to put the universes back where they need to go, and that's where the war gonna start with the X-Men coming there and stuff. They gonna end up having a big war about it. Like, that's what I'm thinking it might end up being about. But who knows, man? What y'all think? Leave a comment, like, be on the lookout for the next video.